Hello, good morning and welcome back to the Fish Locker out on the boat. It is the end of September, it is 20 to 8 in the morning and the sun is just coming up. So yes, the seasons have definitely changed on us. We've just had the back of Storm Agnes. It has been terrible weather for weeks. This is the first little bit of a lull that we've had, so I'm hoping to go out and do some fishing. Got massive tides at the moment, and don't be fooled by what it looks like in here. Flat calm in here, it isn't going to be when we get off there. There's nothing much else I could do other than try and get a late season shark in these conditions. I have brought a rod to see if we get out there and it is suitable to fish one of the wrecks for pollock, I might have a couple of drift for a pollock. But other than that, we're going to be going shark fishing. Late season blue shark fishing. As with all my other videos, I will explain all the rods, the rigs, the tactics, everything as I am doing it. Just wish me luck. It's deceiving looking at it and hearing it. Not really like it when we get out there. Let's go! There's a lot of bait fish around, but I think it's all really small. I'll put a little bit in here to show you what I'm finding. I think it's going to either be pilchards or little tiny mackerel. Oh, little tiny pilchard. That's what I wanted to see. Give it half a dozen more of them, I'll be over the moon. Oh yes. I'll take that. That was exactly what I wanted. In fact, I'll have one last drop to see if I can't pick a couple more out, and I might just head straight off because I can use some of them mackerel to catch whiting when I'm out there. Oh, straight into them. What a winner. Right, let's go. I am going to give it a quick go drifting on the wreck. You never know, we might be able to winkle out a pollock. We aren't all the way offshore yet, and already we've got like a 5 to 6 foot swell. This is my Regiment Solid Carbon 12 to 20 and it's a little fathom. And all I'm doing is I'm fishing with a little 3-way swivel, about 8 to 10 feet of 20-pound fluoro and a little soft plastic. Like a little one of them. I'll give this a couple of 3 drifts on here and we'll get where we're going. This is a wreck. So this is a wreck that I've wanted to try for a while. I use trips like this, like I'm going out sharking, and it just so happened to be that I thought I would stop off and try this wreck on the way, because if it's a productive wreck I'll come back and I'll spend a full day trying them out. Yeah, sessions like this, I'll use them to explore new areas. Oh, there's a fish. The camera never does it justice, but this swell that's coming here is more like 8 foot. Always makes it a little bit more challenging when you're fishing in swell like this. Not to put too much pressure onto a fish, because as you go up a swell, it's like an extra 8 foot of pull. So if you've only got real light hook hold, like this here, this fish might be really lightly hooked. It's only a really small hook. It's a nice pollock. Here I see there's a lure in his mouth. There's a pollock. Only a little low, but he did the job. Yeah. Get a fillet off that. I'll go back and give this wreck one more try and then we'll get sharking. I'm constantly exploring new areas. New bits of ground, new bits of reef, new wrecks. You have to, I guess you kind of have to. Just because the fish don't all stay in one place. You have to move around a bit, you have to try and search them out sometimes. There's a fish. Not a monster, but it's big enough. And again, that's a sidewinder skerries, and it's gamakatsu colour. I think it's 4-inch. Yeah, there we go. That pollock has just spat its guts up, and it's just spat up a little fish. Look, it's that size. So it shows you what they're eating. Yeah, I'll remember this wreck for the next time I come out. Let's get to the sharking grounds. Well, that is it. I am all the way offshore. Reach where I'm going. I told you it wasn't going to be as nice out here as it was in there. We have, at this moment in time, we have about 8 to 10 feet of swell, but it's quite a long way apart. It's probably about every 6 seconds. So I can deal with that. We do have wind against tide though, which is why that wrecking, it wouldn't have been good for wrecking. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to really quickly, I'm going to put a chum bag out over the side in a laundry sack, and I'm going to get some feathers down on the bottom to try and catch some more whiting, and I'm going to bait out. When I'm all set up, I'll come back to you and I'll talk to you about it all in detail. I just need to get cracking. Right, that's the first bait out. I can afford to take a moment to talk to you now. I always like to get a bait out in the water first, just so that I've got something fishing while I'm nattering on. Yeah, we have wind against tide. Wind's pushing us this way, tide's going that way. So when you're drifting over wrecks and things like that, as soon as you drop down, your line ends up over there and your boat ends up blown over there. So ideally, when you're shark fishing, you want wind and tide together because you cover more ground. We're not going to drift too far today as far as over the ground, but with the tide going that way, it's going to carry our slick away anyway. As you can see, hopefully, that glassy area there is the slick that's coming out of the chum bag here. Now I'm going to rig up 2 baits. I'm going to rig up 2 rods. My inshore one, my inside one is going to be shallower, and the further one's going to be deeper. See what I mean now about that swell, can't you? Doesn't do it justice. Yeah, that one there was about 8 to 10 foot. Currently drifting at half a knot, 3/4 of a knot. But that's over the ground. Like I say, the tide's running away in that direction as well, so the slick is getting longer in that direction. The one thing that's the one thing that's making me a little bit about today is the colour of the water. Now after that big storm, after that storm Agnes, the water is very, very green. We'll see what we can do. Usually out on these grounds you can be guaranteed to be catching whiting. I haven't managed to find a single one, just a big fat pouting. Yeah, I'm glad I caught them mackerel before I come out here, because if I'd been relying on catching bait when I was out here, I wouldn't have had any. All I'm using is the same mackerel feathers, but I've baited them with a little tiny strip of bait. Little strip of mackerel. Still running a drift of about 1/2 to 3/4 of a knot. But again, because we've got wind against tide, this swell is going to get a little bit nasty. It's supposed to drop off in around about 2 or 3 hours. Fingers crossed. There's the shark. Well, that didn't take too long. I don't know if this will show you here now. That greasy slick there. Now this shark is actually holding the boat back. This is the deeper rod what it's picked up. I've just got all the baits. I've just got both baits out. Just got both baits out and I was just sat back looking at the back of the slick, having a drink of water. And a seagull went and landed at the back of the slick. And I thought, oh brilliant. If he stays there, he's like a bite alarm. Anyway, took straight off. 10 seconds later, bite. I don't think he properly knows that he's hooked. Just wants to sit down there low. We'll go for a run in a minute. I don't know if you noticed how I set the hook then. I'm fishing with barbless circle hooks. And all you don't strike like you do with a normal hook. You just tighten the line and then lift, and it turns the hook in the corner of its mouth. It's a really little shark that's got itself all snarled up. I'll explain in a second about why I have my traces like I do, and that's because of this. He has managed to spin himself right up. In fact, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring this shark aboard, just because he's all snarled around. Really quickly there, managed to get all the trace out. It's a stunning blue shark. There's the tag. Let's get her back. Gently does it. There she goes. Whew. I wouldn't normally bring sharks aboard the boat, but that one had well and truly kind of snarled itself right up, and the hook was in a bit of an awkward spot. That was 142 centimetres long from the nose to the fork, and I did slip a tag into that. Now those tags are Noah tags. I put that fish, like I say, around about 20 to 30 pound. We're off the mark, good, because I had a feeling today was going to be a difficult one. Anyway, let's get these traces sorted out, feed them baits back out. Yeah. When I've got the bait ready to go back out, I'll explain to you about the trace and show you why I've got them like I have. This is the business end. Just a mackerel flapper on like I think it's a size 12 Mutsu Circle Extra. It's a Coxon Roll SCR 45. Yeah, blue sharks, they're notorious, especially the small ones, for wrapping up, for rolling up. If they're in the fight, they shake their head and they rasp around and they roll up. So you need a long wire trace. I have around about 2 feet of wire for bite trace, and then I have around about 8 feet of trace body incorporating a lead. Wow, today is one of them days today. If people feeling seasick watching this, I'm feeling a little bit ropey now. Get some food in me in a second. Yeah. It's one of the worst things you can one of the worst things you can do for feeling poorly on a rough day is get your head down and start messing about with stuff. I've just been messing around with camera and with all my stuff inside my bag. Yeah, I'm feeling it right now. You'll notice that I have also got lanyards on all of my rods. That was made by a friend of ours called Liddy Carter. Liddy's Leashes. Is it Liddy's Leads? Liddy's Leashes? God. I'll put a link into her Facebook page anyway. Yeah. They've saved several rods from going over the side. Drift's picked up a bit. Well, the wind's picked up a bit. We're going at 1.1 knots. Right, I'll get a new tag on my stick and get ready to go. I don't know how well you can see, but it isn't the nicest day out here. Like that there, that was this swell that I'm on right now. That was probably the best part of 12 foot. And this one again. It's not a very nice day. I've just had a tanker go past and it's just been like I have been drifting now for 3 3/4 hours and I've had that one shark. Drifting at 1.5, 1.7, 1.9, 1.4, 1.9. Yeah. Not a bad drift. We've done a bit of a dog leg as the tides changed. What I am going to do is I'm going to drift around for another hour and a half until this chum bag is finished. And if they hadn't switched on, if we haven't started catching a lot more sharks, I'm going to go somewhere inshore because this isn't very pleasurable. We fish for our enjoyment, we fish for pleasure. Yeah, this isn't very nice. Oh, he's dropped it. He's dropped it. That's indicative of a little fish, that. Oh, got it that time. Got you. Oh, it's tiny. It's a little tiny rat dog. Up on the surface there behind the boat. This very well might be the smallest blue shark you're ever likely to see. the size of that. Oh, cheeky little devil. But yeah, that little guy there, he's too small even to tag. Away like a bullet. Yeah, that blue there was so small, it was too small to even get a tag into. You can only tag them when they're above a certain size. Counts as a fish, but barely. I've caught bullets bigger than that thing. That was a weird one. That I'd picked the rod up. Is it off? Oh no! I'd picked the rod up because I thought to myself, it's too far away. I'll bring it all the way in. Now the fish has dropped the bait. I didn't manage to keep enough tension on it. Just goes to show. I mean, I haven't seen any sharks on the surface today. Partly because it's quite rough and the water's very green. You don't often get them so far up when the water's this cloudy. Before we had that storm, we had probably about 15 to 20 feet of visibility. Today we've probably got about 5. That shark was obviously down there and around that bait, and as soon as I'd picked the rod up and I'd started to move it, he thought, oh no, it's going to get away, so it snatched for it. When I got the bait back, I mean, yeah, the bait was all chewed up. Just hadn't found the hook properly. Quite likely it just had the whole fish in its mouth and it was holding on, and it hadn't set the hook, and as soon as it like moved and opened its mouth, that's when it come off. Yeah, for every shark that you see or that you hook, there's going to be half a dozen more down there that you never see. I've just reeled the bait to the side of the boat and the shark has followed it, and I'm not joking, it's about this big. It's down here now. It must be the smallest blue I think I've ever seen in my life. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hook him up. I'll hook him up on a spinning rod. Yeah, he's about 1.5 foot long. Look, that feels like a better one. Right, let's get all these little ones out of the way. Quite a spirited little male, this. tagging him. Sure. Tag. Alley up. There you go. Let's get some fresh baits out because there's a couple of sharks there competing now in a minute. Got you. Got you. Practically hand fed that one. Yeah, this smaller shark, I've hooked him up on a spinning rod, and all I did was, that last fish, that bigger male, this fish followed that one in. As I was busy messing about with him, he was underneath and round, and all I did was when I unhooked the larger one, when I hooked the one that I'd tagged, just dropped a little scrap down and picked it up straight away. See if I can't show you him. Little fish. There he is, just a little scrappy one. Just a little tiny trace for the small one. Now unfortunately, because of the direction of the drift and where the sun is at the moment, no matter where I stand, I'm going to be looking so that the sun's straight against the camera. Sorry about that. We're maybe going to give this about another half an hour. We have a little mad flurry of sharks there. Just goes to show that we've probably had one or two fish following us the whole way and they've just not been having it, and as soon as a couple of them turn up together, they're on it, they're having it, and that's competition. Yeah. There he is. Yeah, there's another shark here on the surface, quite a big one. And I don't know if this one's just panicked and just legged it. I don't know if it's because it's seen that other one or what. Female. Another female. Whoa. It's all kicking off again. There was another fair sized shark tagged and released. Unfortunately, my battery died as I was T-barring it off, just because it was all kicking off all at once when the batteries are run flat. The tide's turned and the wind's changed direction slightly. We've done like a complete horseshoe. We're now heading back in the same direction that we came. We have a little shark at the back of the slick playing with the float. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this ready, just in case. The float at the back of the slick is the deepest one. So even though there's a shark on the surface right back there, the bait's still going to be 20 metres below it. Hopefully it'll follow all the way in and I'll be able to pick it up with a light one. No, I'm sticking that one. I think. No, take it down then. Ah, it's a little one. I've just pulled it out of its mouth. Yeah, smaller fish quite often they'll take the bait and they won't get it all in their mouth because their mouth's too small. So when they'll run drag off because they'll have hold of it. As soon as you pull it, you either just pull the hook straight out of the bait, which is happened there. So the fish has kept the shark has kept the bait in its mouth and the hook's missed it, so I've pulled the hook through. Or it just drops it. Got you. Another lovely female fish. Tag deployed. This was tag number 417222. There's the tag. They are just a stunning colour blue, aren't they? Right there. Got ya. I think I'm going to call that a day. We're going to run one bait out while I busy tidy everything else up, and we'll go and try wreck on the way home. Sharking picked up just as soon as the tide turned. We're having a really slow day up until like the last hour and a half. I could if I wanted to, put another chum bag out, stay out here, catch a few more. But like I said, there's a couple of wrecks near here that I wanted to try for a while. I'm going to drift for a pollock on the way home. I'm not sure how many sharks I've had, but all I know is that I've got one tag left. a lot of smaller ones today. A lot of smaller fish. Let's give it a try. Yeah, like I say, I'm constantly exploring new wrecks, new areas. I mean, I wouldn't waste an entire day going out and checking wrecks out. All I'll do is every single time I go out sharking, I'll check out a couple near that area, or on my way home I'll maybe do like a different way home. On to the next one. Just drifting too fast. Oh well. Yeah, just drifting far too fast. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day. I've got some filleting to do and a lot of tidying down. I hope you enjoyed joining me. I hope you found it interesting. All the very best. See you later.